So it turns out that these images that I reported on the other day of the PlayStation 5 Development Kit have made Sony a little bit upset, and well, they're actually in some trouble. Let's get into it. Here we go, back at it yet again with another video. G'day guys, I'm Champ Chong, and today I've actually got a massive headache, so if you want to make me feel a little bit better, make sure you smack that like button real good. But now, let's jump into the gaming news. And the first thing we are talking about is something I actually reported on a few days ago, and the story has blown up. It's these images of the PlayStation 5 Dev Kit. So if you're unaware, a patent was filed in Brazil for the PS5 Dev Kit, and these images leaked and everything, and well, it turned out that it was real. At first, many people weren't 100% sure if it was real or not, what the deal with it, everything. Like, nobody was 100% sure about anything, really. However, Matthew Stott, who is a developer at, I believe, Codemasters, tweeted this out. You guys can see it right here. He says, "It's a dev kit. We have some in the office. Sony patent shows PlayStation 5 dev kit, or maybe even the console itself." So he confirmed it on Twitter. And the craziest part is, his Twitter is now completely gone. Matthew Stott on Twitter doesn't exist. That account is gone, and it's all because of this tweet. Obviously, they have these dev kits in the studio. Nobody's taken an image of what they look like in real life. The closest we have are the actual sketches, and then obviously the 3D renders that were made. But it's just insane to think that Sony, they saw this tweet and they were like, whoa, okay, those developers, they have it in the studio, they have it in the office, we have to take this tweet down, and now that's gone. So it pretty much 100% confirms it now that it is a legitimate actual draw up of the dev kit. Now, to my opinion on this dev kit itself and what it looks like, the closest we've got right now, as I said, are these 3D renders of what we saw in the patterns of the sketches and everything. So looking at this, I'm kind of like, man, this is really ugly, because if they go for anything similar to this on the final design, which it most likely won't be, but you never know, because they're probably designing it this way for a specific reason when it comes to the actual hardware itself. But if it ends up looking anything like this, it's gonna look really, really, really bad. Seriously, it's going to be a big fail on Sony's part when it comes to the design of the console. Just imagine having this thing on your shelf. Imagine having this in your entertainment unit alongside your other consoles, alongside your other media devices, and under your sleek flat screen TV. Yeah, you can't really imagine it, because it shouldn't be there. It really, really should not be in a living room or in a gaming setup. It's just an ugly piece of junk when you do look at it. And so hopefully PlayStation do redesign it. And maybe this is some sort of crazy strategic thing where they've gone, let's just test the market and see what people think of this wild, wacky design, because there's a chance they might actually like it because it's so out there. And well, it backfired on them. A lot of people have said on Twitter, on social media, everywhere pretty much, a lot of gamers have gone, if it ends up looking like that, I'm not buying one. And that's the thing. Sony are in a bit of trouble right now because a lot of gamers have turned on them for this. Not just because they've gone and deleted someone's Twitter account because they tweeted about it and confirmed that it does look like this. That's one other whole story. But it's the fact that a lot of gamers are turning on the design. Just like when the Xbox One originally came out and it looked like a giant VHS and it came with the Kinect and everything, a lot of people were like, whoa, 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 I'm not buying one of these. It looks like crap. It's going to look awful in my living room and stuff like that. And well, Xbox actually suffered. They saw record low numbers, and the PlayStation 4 took off, even though it was released, I believe, a month later or something like that. I know it was here in Australia, but that's the thing. Sony are in a bit of trouble because the gamers are turning on them for this, because nobody wants to buy a hunk of junk. Nobody in their right mind is going to spend $500 on this. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this PlayStation 5 dev kit. So just to clear it up, it is a dev kit. It may not be the final design of it. They may go for something similar or something completely different, but in this, like at this point in time, this is what the PlayStation 5 looks like. This is what the developers have in their offices, in their studios, whatever you want to call it. That's what's sitting there. That's what's playing the PlayStation 5 games that they're building for the release of the console in just over a year from now. So That's a wild thought. Anyway, yeah, let me know in the comments down below regarding that. But just before we do jump into our next gaming news report on today's show, I want to let you guys know that I've linked in the description down below my video that came out yesterday. I put in 30 days of not playing games, and like I put in 30 days of recording, and then I put in like almost 50, I think 44 hours of actual editing on this video. So if you guys would go and check that out, greatly appreciate it if you haven't seen it already. But if you have seen it, thank you very much. It's been a great response from everyone that has seen it. So I appreciate all the kind words, because I put everything into this video. So yeah, anyway, now let's jump into the next news report on today's show. And it's that people that have been playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare's alpha on the PlayStation 4 have pretty much, for the most part, had positive things to say about it, and that's the general consensus. It looks like a good game, it feels like a good game and everything. I haven't personally played it, but from what I've heard from friends that have been playing the alpha on the PS4, they've said it's good, but there has been a little bit of backlash because some people have been using mouse and keyboard on the PlayStation 4. So Modern Warfare will allow you to use mouse and keyboard just like Fortnite does, but the problem with the alpha version of the game right now is that they're not splitting lobbies. Everyone is just put into one, and everyone, if you're using a controller or a mouse and keyboard or whatnot on the PlayStation 4, is playing together. Obviously, some people out there have higher sensitivities, some have lower sensitivities on their controllers, but then it comes down to the mouse and keyboard, which is really annoying for some people that are just on lower sensitivity controllers because they're getting wiped out by the mouse. Now, obviously, these people that have been complaining haven't really done their homework. I've seen it all over Twitter, people just complaining about the mouse and keyboard on the PlayStation 4 for this alpha, but if you've done your homework, and this is just to clarify to everybody out there that is buying Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, it's strange to say that like so many years later, it's been like over a decade since the original came out. But anyway, if you're buying this game, you have to know that this is just the alpha. In the final game, it is going to be split lobbies. They're going to put mouse and keyboard with those PC players, I believe so. I'm not exactly sure how it would work depending on player numbers and everything, but controllers and mouse and keyboard on the consoles are going to be split into two different lobbies, so you won't have anything to worry about there. Obviously, also, crossplay will be a thing with this game, so that'll be another option that you will have, and you can turn that off and everything like that. So it's going to be exciting to see how this does roll out. It's going to be very similar, though, to Fortnite and how that works. So if you are on a console, you use a mouse keyboard, you get bumped up to PC. And I don't know if you use a controller on a PC, if you get bumped down to a console lobby. Not exactly sure how that'll work, but at this point in time, what we do know is that they will split the lobbies in the final game if you're using a mouse and keyboard on console. So don't worry about the alpha not doing that. It's just the way they're trying to get everybody's numbers on there. They're trying to see how the mouse and keyboard function for people, and they're actually adding more support to that, which will be in there for the beta and everything like that. So exciting times for this game, and exciting times for the Call of Duty franchise moving forward. They're actually doing some new stuff, which is cool. So yeah, anyway, now let's move on to the next news report on today's show. And it's a game that everybody is looking forward to. I feel like I report on this game every single week. It's Cyberpunk 2077. And well, we are getting 15 more minutes of gameplay later this month. Actually, in just a few days from now. So on the 30th of August, we are getting 15 minutes of brand new Cyberpunk 2077 gameplay. This has been confirmed by CD Projekt Red, and they're going to stream this online on August 30th at 11 a.m. Pacific time, which is 2 p.m. Eastern time, which is going to be roughly, for most Australians, in the middle of the night, the early hours of the morning of the 31st of August. So this is pretty awesome news right here, except it isn't as awesome as you think. So if you have been to Gamescom in Germany, you've probably already seen this. So they were actually showing this off behind closed doors in Germany, and this was last week at Gamescom, and now they're going to show it to the rest of the world. So that's exciting, because I haven't seen it. You probably haven't seen it, because most people probably didn't go to Gamescom unless you live in Germany or surrounding countries in Europe, or just decided to fly over for Gamescom and actually sat in line for like 2 hours to go see this gameplay. So yeah, it is pretty awesome that they're sharing this with the rest of the world. I was kind of hoping that they maybe would share this along with some brand new gameplay, but CD Projekt Red have actually stated that this won't be the final piece of gameplay that we do see from the game. Obviously, the game's coming out in April next year, in 2020, so we are going to see a lot more leading up until then, but I actually kind of don't want to see too much. I don't want to get too hyped for this game. I'm obviously already hyped, but I don't want to get way too excited and see too much where when the game finally comes out, I'm like, oh, I already kind of saw this and all this hype has kind of died down. So I'm kind of trying to keep myself, you know, locked away and locked off from all that stuff, but I am probably going to watch this because it will be 15 minutes of raw gameplay. So we'll get to see what the game kind of functions like and everything like that. So it's really exciting stuff right there. But anyway, guys, that does it for today's video. Hopefully you did enjoy it. As I did say, I have linked down below in the description, so go check it out, my latest video from yesterday. I put a lot of work in that video, so it'd be greatly appreciated. If you haven't seen it, go check it out, give it a chance. It's like 22 minutes. It's a mini documentary, a mockumentary, mock doc, whatever you want to call it. I had a bunch of fun filming it, but it was also very, very difficult to put this thing together. It's one of the best things, in my opinion, that I've ever made. It's just a ton of effort and a ton of work into it. So hopefully you do end up enjoying it. And yeah, that does it for today's video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.